Hey, today I want to talk about something, and the word that popped in my mind is called brand science. And whenever you look at a brand, you always think of it as somebody that you have a relationship with. And therefore, I want to suggest that when you think of a brand, think of the brand's personality, think of the brand's character, and think of a brand as someone that you can have a relationship with. And that is why I encourage a lot of people to do a brand personification exercise. Of course, you want to know the age, the sex, the demographics, where the person stays, or location, but that's not good enough. What you really need to understand is the nature of the person. Not only all the good things about the person, but also the negative traits. And if you want to know more about trait theory, I can always spend time with you, but you need the positive traits and you also need to know if there is any negative trait in the brand. Going a little further, I would encourage you to do something called the family constellation exercise. What does that mean? In your family, who could this brand be? Remember, the person that you're speaking to, the consumer, has suddenly started visualizing this person as somebody staying in their house. And it's a very deep relationship. People in the family, you have your dad, your mom, your cousins, your uncles, cousins. That gives you an idea of who in the family can this brand be. Taking it a little further, do a friendship exercise. And there are three parts to the friendship exercise that I call it. Is it a hi-bye friend, just an acquaintance? Is it a picnic party kind of a friend? Or is it a close friend? And consumers understand all of these subtleties because there is an emotion attached to these. And I can give you an example of how we use this. Of course, you can go a little further and you can ask for celebrities. But you need to be a little careful how you're asking for celebrities. With celebrities, and what is the reason why they chose those celebrities? I would encourage this only if you have been trained in this exercise. You can ask for animals and birds. And you need to really understand characteristics of animals and birds. If you don't, then leave that because that interpretation becomes very, very important. So if you're using celebrities and animals, that's with the caution. You really need to understand that, the traits, the movies that they have done, or the traits that animals bring, right? So that's recommended only if you know that. I'm going to start with an example where we actually did this for Fog when we were launching Fog. We had three brands. Axe was the leader, Park Avenue, and Fog, who wanted to enter the market. Of course, we asked the age, we asked what they did, what was the inner circle, who in the family. And what is very interesting is I understood that Axe was this person like a magnet where everybody would get attracted to. Correct? Park Avenue, of course, was a professional and office, all of that. But if Fog had to make an inroad, I remember the consumer said, yeah, he's a new kid who has entered the college. He has to make his mark. He has to learn how to fit in. He has to find his friends. So that means they had not rejected Fog. They had not called him a wannabe or a struggler. They felt that, hey, this guy has something to offer, right? Because the product was good. Fog had already started advertising. The users had already liked the product. So you see how a powerful brand personification exercise helps you build your brand's personality and character. And focusing on that really adds a texture and a dimension because I believe, and I totally believe after 30 years, that you look at brands and you form a relationship with brands. So focus on this, and I'm sure it will add a lot of value to the brands that you're building and the businesses that you're building. So if you like what I say and you want to know more, reach out to us.